So you want to be a growth hacker. Are you tracking and taking actions against growth limiting steps? A growth limiting step, as the name implies, is any step or stage in your funnel that is limiting your growth. Working with a client, they're getting about 30 free trial signups per month, but this isn't really an important metric to measure. What's more important is the number of real evaluators. In other words, of that 30, how many of them are actually using the trial for its intended purpose, which is to evaluate the product for a future purchase. So for this, we need to look at the usage data for all our trial users and determine what core actions would we expect a real evaluator to take. So it could be any number of things. It'll be unique to your business, something like uploading their own data set, using a specific feature, entering a specific command. What you may find, as we did with this client, is that of the 30 downloads per month, very few of them are actually using the product and becoming real evaluators. Therefore, we need to solve for this. This was our growth limiting step. The idea is that if we can get more people to use these core functions and become real evaluators, there's going to be a higher percentage of people that actually buy the product. So we needed to figure out, A, why are so few people actually using the trial for its intended purpose? And B, what can we do to increase their usage of these core actions that we've identified? So what we did is we set up a growth hacking team. This included the head of sales, the head of marketing, the head of engineering or product, the head of customer success, and we had the CEO as optional. This is considered an elite task force assembled to solve a very mission critical problem. So for you, you can decide which individuals are included and how many of them. So we created a spreadsheet and met weekly. And the idea was to have everyone come up with ideas and experiments that we can run and test to increase the usage of these core actions. And each experiment should answer these questions. What are we testing? In other words, what experiment do we want to run? What are we measuring? In other words, how are we measuring this experiment? What are we predicting? What is the expected outcome of this experiment? And finally, what are we doing? What actions do we need to take to run this experiment? We then measure the experiment's feasibility based on time, cost, and impact to the business. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so this is the spreadsheet that we created. It has a number of columns. First column is suggested by. This is the name of the person who suggested the experiment. The second column is the key driver. In our case, it was the number of real evaluators. This is the metric that we're trying to move. And then we have it set up as we believe that, and to verify this, we will, and measure, and we predict that. Then we have a column for cost and a column for impact. For cost, we use a score of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. And then impact, we use a score of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. And then you can have a column which is score or rank. Basically, you need a way to determine what experiment is worth running and rank them in order of importance. So one idea that we had was to gamify the trial, to have some sort of reward or badge system that you can earn once you use certain features. And we don't know if this is going to work. This is just an idea that we came up with. So let me show you how we would write this. We believe that trial users will be encouraged to continue using the product if there's a gamified system that rewards users for completing key actions. And to verify this, we will develop a points or reward system tied to key actions and measure the increase in key action completion rates. We predict that gamification will incentivize users to engage more with the software and perform the desired actions, and therefore increasing the percentage of real evaluators. So there it is. That's our growth hacking framework. I hope it helps.